All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with head coach from Arizona, Tommy Lloyd. Coach will give an opening statement, and we'll be joined by players here shortly. So, Coach?
Well, it lived up to its billing. I mean, it was a great basketball game, and, I got a ton of respect for San Diego State's program, and I knew it was going to be tough. And you know what, and I appreciate how hard it was, and we kind of got out to a little bit of a lead there in the first half, and then they made a run back, and actually I think they took the lead from us, and to take those punches and stay on your feet and respond the way we did, it really says something about our guys' character, and I couldn't have asked the game to play out any better for our growth and development as a team. Not that I want teams to, go back from down 16 to up whatever they do 2 or 3, but it happens, and for our guys to hang in there and come out and make a bunch of winning plays down the stretch, says something about them.
Questions for Coach?
Coach, you talked about them, coming back and getting up by 2. What were some of the things? What were some of the adjustments they were doing to make it difficult for you?
Well, I think they amped up their defense a little bit, and and got a little more comfortable on the offensive end. And we had obviously turnovers were a little bit of a problem, and I'm sure during that stretch we had a couple turnovers, a couple missed layups that I probably would have rather passed on. But they're a good team, and they're experienced, and they're going to make a run. I'll have to go back and watch the film to really dissect it. But for us, I knew the run was coming. I was hoping it wasn't, but I knew I kind of was expecting it to, and yeah, like I said, I couldn't have played out better for us to have to, get a little bit of a gut check. We need that.
Right here in the front.
They didn't have an assist till early second half and finished with only 4. And they've been a pretty high assist team this year. What were you doing that sort of forced them into one-on-one basketball?
Well, we wanted to, really choke off their perimeter players. I mean, we feel like they're the heart and soul of that team offensively, so we wanted to do the best job we could, being a little stickier on their shooters, and we were trusting we could help off their bigs and kind of jam the paint with our big defenders, and that would be where our help and our rotations would come from, and try not to give them a bunch of easy uncontested jump shots.
Coach, to go along with that, if I may follow up on that one, you guys had 7 different guys who had assists, led by Krisa, but seemed like you guys shared the basketball pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we do. I mean, we share the ball well, and they don't make it easy to move the ball. They don't make it easy to get to your ball screen actions that we like to. But I thought in the second half we finally kind of settled in, and we started cutting a little bit off the ball, and I think that loosened some things up a little bit. We started actually setting and holding our ball screens, because they're really good at fighting over ball screens. I mean, they can blast through them, physically, and in a game like this, it's hand-to-hand combat. You're not going to get those calls, and they can shoot underneath them. So it makes it for a real challenge. I thought our bigs did a good job adjusting, and then our guards did a much better job of making decisions and not over-penetrating if something wasn't there.
All right, we're now joined also by Adama Ball and Cedric Henderson Jr. If you have questions for our student athletes, we'll take those now. Right here, Bruce.
Well, I was going to ask Tommy this, but for all of you guys, actually, is this the Courtney Ramey you saw in practices this fall, or do you think he's a little just motivated to get out there finally and play on the stage?
Well, Courtney's hungry. I mean, he's a hungry dude, and he got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder in a good way. And I think he's been waiting for this opportunity, and this is the stuff we talked about in his recruitment. And I'm really proud of how he is kind of coming along, and this guy next to me, I mean, he was awesome tonight. Cedric was awesome. And then listen, I also want to give a shout out to our young guys like Adama here. I mean, I know the stats aren't incredible yet, but we have 4 guys that are 18 or younger, that are playing, and these are young dudes that are younger than a lot of high school kids that are playing high school right now. So for them to get this experience in this type of environment and to kind of really show me they're making progress, it's really exciting for our program.
For both of the athletes, when they made the run and got up by 2. I mean, what were you saying to each other on the floor? Y'all had a pretty comfortable lead. They come back, they're up by 2. I mean, how are you reacting? How did you adjust on the floor?
I think the biggest thing was we really got together and we said get our heads together. we weren't playing how we know how to play. We weren't playing Arizona basketball. We were playing selfish. We weren't getting into our rhythms. We were dribbling the ball too much. We weren't swinging it. We figured it out. We started playing defense. We started passing the ball more, and we started getting open shots. Just played together better.
Since both of you guys are here, there was a sequence there, Adama, where you stole the ball and led to Ced getting on the wing and hitting a three. That seemed like that kind of put him away, at least after it made it a different game after all his, all that closeness there. How would you guys describe it in the moment? Did you?
I think that that was just like the way we play. Like we practice every day, and that's the type of thing that we do every day in practice. So yeah, do it in game. I saw Ced was open. I just bring the ball. I saw he was open, and I knew that was going in, and that literally changed the game. Like yeah.
Rob here.
For both players, can you tell me what's the atmosphere like? What's it like playing in that building?
It's great. It almost feels like home, though. It almost feels like we're playing back in Arizona. How many fans we have and how many people are cheering for us. But it's great. I love the small gym atmosphere.
Yeah, I feel like the same. We barely can understand us in the court, and that's pretty crazy. And it's really different than where I'm from, and yeah, I'm really happy to play in that atmosphere.
For the players again, what would it mean to you guys to find success tomorrow against Creighton in the championship game?
It would mean a lot. It'd be the first check mark on our list, but it doesn't mean that that's all we're looking for in the rest of the season. That's a benchmark that we really want, but we still have other things we want to do too.
Yeah, I think that's what we work for every day for those type of big games, and we're playing for a championship. And yeah, we just gotta have fun out there and play great.
Anything else for the guys? Bruce?
Just Cedric, just following up on that play again towards the end. Of all the shots you made, did you feel like this was a kind of a breakthrough moment there towards the end where you?
Yeah, no, it felt like that was honestly, it felt like that was the possession that really put a dagger into it. It got everybody hyped. Everybody was cheering. We all laughed and smiled. But we realized there was still the rest of the clock left too, so we still had to play hard. You can't just give up. That's still a good team. We got our stuff together and really played well in that second half.
Anything else for our players? All right, we'll keep coach for a few more. Thank you, guys. Good luck tomorrow.
Guys, get out of here. Let's go.
Down here in the front. Bruce, we'll come to you right after.
Well, Coach, you won't get much sleep tonight. You're looking at a big one, high noon. What do you think? What do you think about now? What do you think about Creighton in terms of the kind of?
What Coach McDermott's a great coach. He's been around for a long time. I got a ton of respect for him. I mean, he's a great guy, and they play a cool style of basketball. I mean, they play with great fundamentals, great ball movement, and great skill. So we have a ton of respect for him. But again, on the back end of a back-to-back, especially playing at noon, there's probably not going to be a ton of adjustments made by either team. It's going to you're just going to have to hunker down to what you do, and then maybe as the game over the course of the game adjust a little bit here and there. But I wouldn't probably expect anything too crazy from either team.
Bruce?
Oh, just sort of along those lines, Tommy. You talked earlier about going over the film and looking at some of these things. Are you even going to have time to go over this film, or are you going to be mostly looking at Creighton? What's your plan?
Well, I ain't gonna watch tonight's game. No, I mean tonight's game's done. I mean, after I talk to you guys, I'm on to the next one. I mean we're obviously we do some advanced scouting, and I'm sure our staff has some ideas on how we want to play against Creighton, as we would have if it was Arkansas. So we'll go down and get together with the team, and this is what you practice for every day. You practice to play in great games, and if I feel bad for the players if we needed more practice time. Let's go out and let it rip and see what happens. You got two really good teams playing in a great atmosphere. I mean, it has the makings to be a special day.
Got time for one more. Bruce?
Just following up on that, have you ever seen, in a conference tournament, you'll play 3 games, 3 days, 4 games, whatever, but have you ever had a situation like this where you're playing till whatever it is tonight and then noon the next day?
Yeah, and I think 2018, I was assistant at Gonzaga, And I think we played, I don't know if it was the last game, whatever, but I think we had a battle against Arizona. And the Zags came out on top, and the gift was you got to play Zion and RJ and Duke at noon. So that's just what it is. And that's that coming into Maui, and and trust me, I mean, we know what's at stake, and we really respect our opponent, and we're going to go out and take some big swings and see what happens.
All right. Thank you for your time, Coach.
Thank you.